Good morning, dear students, and welcome to the social class of 10th standard. As we know that we are going into the class like geography. Today we are going to learn the subject of geography, that is Indian soils. Listen to me very carefully. That is the Indian soils which we are going to learn today. So first of all, we are going to see the meaning of the soils. Soil is an important resource of its country for its all happenings in the country. For example, for all the commercial activities and also the businesses, trade, and also the natural resources. Soil is an important sector. We can say it's a very important part of the country which is related to the several activities of its country. We see normally soil is not in one particular color or its appearance and its fertility. We see entire India, it has a different kinds of soils fertility and also in its colors. There are types of soils are available. The distribution of the soil in a different place, it is available in a different form. And we see the soil is not going to be same as usual all the time. So the soil has its own type of like soil erosion is going on, and how we can also try to soil conservation, how we can make it something, the protection of the soil. Everything we will learn in this chapter today. So one by one we are going to understand that. First of all, we are going to read about the meaning of the soil. It is a thin layer of the earth. Soil is a thin layer of the earth. We know that earth is composed with different chemicals and different, the chemical inside of it, different rocks, minerals is available, and soil is one of the mineral about. It is also the one of the mineral of the earth. So this is the outer part. This is the earth's outer part where the top layer, which is called as the top layer, and this top layer is a thin layer. This top layer is a thin layer. This thin layer is distributed in India in a different part of its country, in a different size and its color and its availability. We see that this soil is in a place where the India is holding a different types. We see that they are intermixed with a mineral and organic substance. They are intermixed with minerals and organic substances. That is, not only one soil is intermixed with the internal organics. So, the example we can say, it's if you can talk about the alluvial soil, it is composed with an alluvium. If you talk about the black soil, it is the result of basalt rock. The basalt is its, what we see, the mineral organic inside. So it is mixed with that, and it looks the appearance in a different way. So every soil, it is the all thin layer of the soil which is mixed with its, the internal organic chemical. So its appearance also is going to appear in that way. So we are going to learn that is the second thing. Soil is the most important thing for the purpose of agriculture. We cannot say that without the soil, as much as the agriculture. So we know that India is the land, the country which is widely expert for agriculture. Across the world, we believe that the land of India, it is the basic occupation of India, which is called as the land of agriculture. So the land of agriculture, India is depending much on the agriculture. As it is depending much on the agriculture, in the same form, it needs a good fertile soil. So on the basis of its fertility and the basis of its color and appearance, the Indian soil has divided into different 6 types of. So now we see that is the types of soils distributed in India. When we look at the distribution of the soil, they are in the 6th form. We see there are first alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, and desert soil, and mountains type of soil. These are the 6 form of the distribution of Indian soils. So we're going to learn about each one in detail. If we can talk about the alluvial soil, okay. The alluvial soil, it is completely composed with alluvium. It is completely composed with an alluvium. It is completely made of alluvium. So, how is this alluvium is deposited on this land? So, it is completely deposited by the Indo-Gangetic plains, the river side, the river area of the Indo-Gangetic plains. One of the Indian best the form of for agriculture we call, that is the Indo-Gangetic plain area. This area is completely, in the previous chapter we heard about the Indo-Gangetic area where the complete fertile soil is available. You know, where the number of the main river section of India, the main river lines of India are, that is the Ganga and Brahmaputra. We see this Ganga and Brahmaputra area, which is composed with a complete alluvium deposit. It is deposited by these two the river system, that is the Indo-Gangetic. We see, you know, this plain area is going to contribute maximum. It is going to contribute the maximum support to the agriculture. We believe that the India is a country which is mainly dependent on the occupation of the agriculture, and for the purpose of agriculture we need oil, we need a soil that is of alluvium soil. That alluvium soil is mainly deposited and concentrated in the place of, that is about 15 lakh kilometer. You know, the main area of the India, we see the main area of the India which is very important for the purpose of an agriculture. We believe, see that Indian main important sections of the India, we see that this area, we see, we're going to believe that, you know, we're going to believe that the areas which start from this belt, the area which start from the main branch, okay, all these lines, we see this is the area which starting from the Punjab and which is attached with the, you know, above the line of the Rajasthan, above the line of the Rajasthan. Okay, we see that from that area till towards the eastern side, it is going to be a fertile plains. This area is known as the plains area. This area is completely fertile land where agriculture till to an, you know, Assam we see, till to an Assam we see, which included the Uttar Pradesh, which included the, you know, Himachal Pradesh, and to the part of the eastern Punjab, the part of the eastern Punjab, or the western and eastern Punjab. So including the Madhya Pradesh and all this area, we calculate to see that the fertile area which is the agricultural land of India that occupies about 15 lakh kilometers. You know, in the world, India is also standing in its position for agriculture. We are having the number one country in the world for the land which is under the agriculture, and we have a deposited of alluvium, that will be best alluvium that is deposited in the Indian land by the main river section, that is the world's highest. You know, we see that Indo and Gangetic, these are the important you know, the river system, that is the purest water which making the flow of and making the, you know, the flow of the alluvium, and then it is coming to deposit to these areas, and which is a fertile. This area is known as the fertile ground. This land to occupy in India, we see that every person in India, we see that Delhi was being always, it was always been targeted by the other country and other invention for the purpose. This land, okay, where the land of Mahabharata, where the land of Ramayana, we see the land is always been targeted from the historically till now, that this main land of the India, because of its fertile, the prairie ground, because it has the world's number one, you know, the agricultural land, which is we call. Though we have certain crops that are grown here, not in the production we are number one, but we are number one in the world for the agricultural land. So, what type of crops are grown here? The wheat, that too, large production of the wheat. Okay, in paddy, we are world's second number. We are in the second position in the world for the purpose of, contributing the rice. That is the country of India. That is the country of the India. And sugarcane. The sugarcane is the world's first country in the world that has been implemented the sugarcane, that is in India. This is a product and crop of India were introduced to the other part of the world. How is it possible? Because our people who are much intellectual, those people who invented this thing, that too, it is an Indian product which is born in India, and today we see that largely it is exported to the other countries. How is it possible? Because of availability of the natural resource and the source and the soil. This soil is very important for the purpose of this agriculture. The wheat, paddy, sugarcane, and cotton. We stand again in the world's position for production of the cotton. The United Kingdom people came into search of Indian land for largely occupying the cotton in India. Today also we are in a good, we call as the world's, the best cotton which is found. First in like China, then in India. That India is a country which produces the cotton in more number. We see that country has its availability of the good soil facility. So the cotton growing country, it's India. It is called as the Manchester. It is a Manchester. So Mumbai is called the Manchester. We see that jute, potatoes, and vegetables. All these are very required for food that is available in the part of India. Why it is available? Because the soil system of India, which gives the growth, which gives a growth to grow the certain soil, to grow the certain food products in India. So this is about the alluvial soil, and we're gonna see that is the second number, that is the black soil. What is this black soil? Dear, what is this black soil? Black soil is also called as the regular soil. Why it is called the regular? Because it's the best soil for the growth of the cotton. It's the best soil for the growth of the cotton. We see that the basalt rock, this black soil is again the mineral, the organic mineral which is known as the basalt rock. When it is intermixed with a basalt rock, this is out of the organic chemical weathering we see. It is called as the weathering of that particular area, which is going to produce black or the regular soil, and this regular soil is going to give us a good production, that is the sugarcane. It is good for a sugarcane, it is good for the jowar, the maize, and the pulses and wheat and chilies. The land of India, the best soil for the purpose of growing the cotton, that is the black soil. It is named after that, best cotton black soil land, the soil. So this soil in India is largely occupied, in the places of like Telangana state, Karnataka, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu. About 5.40 lakhs square kilometer it is available in the Karnataka. We see this is the area where the black soil and the other found. So these all states, and we say that Karnataka, especially which is known as the Davangere. The Davangere is known as the land of cotton, the land of the cotton, the Manchester of Karnataka, the Manchester of the cotton, Manchester of the Karnataka, where largely the growth of cotton can be seen in this place. And here, the jowar, what we see, the jowar is a part of Kalburgi, the Gulbarga, the Bidar, the Yadgir, certain part of the country, state that has the large deposition of the jowar. What we see that Karnataka and Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, all these areas occupy the black soil more, and this is very much suitable for the purpose of growing the cotton in the area. So we see 5.46 lakhs kilometer of the availability of zinc. Then third thing we're going to see, that is the red soil. So we have seen the two soil, that is alluvial and black soils, and now we are going to hear about the red soil. What is the red soil? Red soil is that, this is out of the chemical weathering of granite and the gneiss. The chemical weathering of granite and the gneiss. We see this color, its appearance is reddish and brown. Reddish and the brown. You know, these are more in sandy. They looks more in the sandy. We see they are less in clay. They are less in a clay. The reddish. This is very much found in the year like we in India. It is of 5.2 lakh square kilometers available in the India. That is of red soil. Especially in the places of like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, and Kerala, Goa, and we see Bihar, UP, that is Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, and West Bengal. These are the area. The more area which can be seen, the more states of the country, nearly about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13 states. The red soil can be seen in across 13 states of the country. And here the more of the product that is grown, the crops are grown here, that is ragi, millets, groundnuts, tobacco and potato. You know, the red soil is not, it is exactly like a alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is a very good fertile soil for the purpose of agriculture. But whereas we see this red soil, it is only limited for certain like ragi, millets, groundnuts, tobacco and potato. This is the limited. This is a limited one. And then we see that there is a fourth one which is called as the laterite soil. The laterite soil is also known as the tropical soil. Why? Because this laterite soil can be seen in the area of tropical area only. This is in the tropical area where the high temperature, where the temperature is high. Indian zone is a tropical zone. It's called tropical monsoon time because we lies in the tropical area, and the laterite soil is a product of tropical areas, tropical zone where the high temperature and a high rainfall, where the humus temperature is available. About 2.48 lakh square kilometer which is available, especially this tropical climate, okay, can be seen in the West Bengal and Eastern Ghats and Chota Nagpur, and also the Meghalaya and hill stations, Vindhyas and Satpuras. These areas can be seen this kind of climate. And here we see that the area which grow the cashew, the rubber, the tea, coffee, and it also paddy. The tropical monsoon climate will bring is the laterite soil. This soil is going to cashew, rubber and tea, coffee, where everyone is in need of the large demand for tea and coffee. That is, through the laterite soil. The fifth one we see as desert soil. The desert soil is the area where, especially in India, the northwest mountain, that is the northwestern side of the India, where Rajasthan, like some part of we say South Haryana and part of some Punjab, and also the North Gujarat area, where it is the area where the high soluble soil, which is known as the high soluble soil. We see there is a low moisture and humus temperature. It has a low moisture and humus temperature in this area. That's completely because this area comes under the 1.42 lakh square kilometer. This is the area where it is generally in this area we see it is not the area of particular agriculture. This is not the area of the particular agriculture. This is a complete desert area. Some small plant shrubs and herbs, small kinds of, not in the large way. It is very difficult place in this area. Okay, so we see this is the one of the fifth and the sixth one is the mountain soil. Mountain soil. This is the area of Indian, very beautiful place. The high hill station. Okay, the Jammu and Kashmir, the one of the toppest part of the India, where the mountain soil, which is very much attractive place and which is very much helpful for the purpose of the crops like tea and coffee, where people in much demand, and also it's good for fruits, the area of fruits, okay, where Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Manipur receive the area. This is of 2.85 lakh square kilometer area is under the area of the mountain type of soil. This is largely found in the place of the Indian. So these are the 6 types of soil. This is the 6 types of soils which are found in the India. They are alluvial, black, red, laterite, desert and mountain soil. These are the soils distributed not equally depending upon the location, geographical location. It's dependent, okay, it's dependent on the geographical location. So we see that these areas are very, this is the Indian soil distributed area. So now we are going to see that is the soil erosion. What is the soil erosion? Why the word erosion? What is this refers for? Okay, what the erosion is referred for? It is removable. First thing is erosion means it is which is removal of the top layer. Removal of top. If we see the top soil by nature agents. There are different nature agents are there. We see that the river glacier, the winds and the sea waves, and to remove the top layer of the fertile soil and deplete the fertility of the soil. Soil erosion is one of the important problems in India. Among all the problems, this is one of the important problems. Okay, so there are certain agents which are removing the soil erosion, because soil is an important, we can also call it as a resource of that particular country. So the soil erosion, the causes of soil erosion, we see that there are some different main causes. We see deforestation. Why the soil erosion is going on? Because of deforestation. Okay, deforestation. And we also see that overgrazing. And we see the shifting cultivation. Faulty methods. And use of soil making bricks. These are the causes. These are the causes for the purpose of this deforestation. Man is engaged in cutting of the trees. Man is engaged in cutting of the trees. It is very difficult to afforestation then, but we are engaged into so many things. We have been, all the forests are turning into the plain lands. All the forests are turning into burned lands. People are turning and making its industries, urbanization and agriculture are missing from the ground. And this is the reason that soil is getting eroded. Where the lands, the roads and the industries, the construction begins, automatically the soil gets eroded in that particular place. When you construct the roads, when you construct when people began to use that land for different purposes, the soil afforestation. The deforestation is one of the main cause for soil erosion. Okay, to retain the fertility of the soil, the trees are very important. To retain the gain of the soil's fertility, the more forestation is very important on the surface of the ground. So this is one of the causes. And secondly, overgrazing. See, even overgrazing of the animals which eat from the roots, the animals overgrazing. More number of animals, more number of overgrazing over the ground, which is like disturbing the nature, the soil erosion. That is one of the cause. We say shifting cultivation. Sometimes what happens? Cultivation is shifted from one place to the another place, and that area is left like that only. The area which is left in just normal way. So that area is like under the problem of the soil availability problem, because it has to be always maintained. Okay. Faulty methods. There are many reasons that soil erosion is getting through the faulty methods which is followed in the agriculture. When experts are banned, some people, when people who are not having the knowledge, using of more pesticides, and the fertility, the purpose of taking a more crops, that chemical has been used over the soil, and the soil is losing its fertility. And through the soil, collecting the over thin layer of the soil and making the bricks to construct the house. This is one of the another biggest reason for the over thin layer of the soil. It is taken for the purpose of making or taking that soil and bringing up the bricks. The last thing we're gonna see, that is conservation. In this chapter, we have seen that the soil is different and the soil erosion. But now we have to understand the conservation of the soil. How we can protect? How can we protect or conserve the soil? Okay, protection of soil erosion and preservation of the fertility. Soil is called soil conservation. The protection of these things. What the things are happening here, we should do it opposite to that. We should go or opposite to the same. We should go opposite to that for certain things. There are measures that we have to adopt. The first thing is deforestation is going on, then afforestation. Very carefully, afforestation. Through that, plant the number of trees. Automatically, what happens? The more number of trees is going to cause the soil fertility and soil strength. So this is one of the reasons. And we can also restoration and control overgrazing. The overgrazing is going on, so we have to control that. The opposite of these things, shifting cultivation. Okay, we need to cultivate in one place. Contour farming, which is called as the contour farming, making the contour and making the farming. Okay, farming in particular place, and that is contour farming. Make its platform wise and make it done in the right way. Construction of check dams. Even dams are built. If the dams are not built, we see that the glacier and the river flow, the wind flow, we see that river flow, that area which is avoiding the soil erosion. So here it is very important to make it of the construction of the dams, and also contour bonding and gully control and bench terracing. There is an urgent need of all these things which are very much impressive part to control the soil erosion. So dear student, in this chapter we have heard about the Indian soils. The Indian soil are the important soil for the purpose of its agriculture, because India is a land of agriculture. It's different 6 types of soils. We see the second, there is a different 6 types of soils, and it is distributed across the country in a different size and level. And we see that the soil erosion is more in India, and how we can conserve this, through the certain methods we need to follow. What we were not following, we should make it opposite to that, and then it is very so we will see that these 6 types of soil which is found in India were largely important for the purpose of we see that alluvial soil is an important fertile land. We heard that about the alluvial is an important soil for, it is known as the fertile. Keep in mind. Cotton, okay, red soil. You see, each and every soil has its own features and its own placements according to the temperature, according to its location geographically. We see that every one has its own way of dealing with its particular locations. So kindly focus on all these things, read them, try to understand them, and even try to focus the map which is given in the chapter. So this map you draw at home and learn, mention these boxes, the important places to where which type of soils are available. You can just mention by drawing this this scene. Thank you, one and all. Have a great day. Great.